Through all of this conversation on Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, there is one fact that has come out through all of this that is simply undeniable. MAGA can scream their heads off pretending it's not true, but it is. Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein was far deeper and far more intricate than previously known. That's exactly why he's not releasing the files, he's refusing to answer questions, he's running away from reporters, he's dodging questions if they actually manage to get to him. It is so weird. It's clearly a cover up, and that's exactly why people like Michael Wolff, who's one of Donald Trump's most well known biographers, he's someone who interviewed Epstein before he died and before he went to jail. He's been sounding the alarm on their relationship, stretching all the way back to 2019. It's exactly why people like him are speaking up right now, talking about their relationship. And he just dropped another bombshell on the Trump administration and Trump himself on his relationship with Epstein. In a new interview with the Midas Touch Network, he was recounting a conversation he had with Epstein where he urged him to release photos that Epstein had, and kept in a safe, I might add, of Donald Trump with women of a, quote, uncertain age. And these women were not wearing any shirt. They were appearing very provocatively. And Epstein refused to release those photos because he was scared of what Donald Trump might do to him. So let's take a look at this clip of Michael Wolff and we'll talk about it after.
I urged Epstein. I said, these, you should release these pictures. I mean, if for no other reason, I mean, and Epstein was already in trouble and already a figure which people were, he was already demonized. I said, maybe this will even help you. You can be on the side of right here. And I remember Epstein said, again, chilling at the time, he said, I may be a pervert, but I'm not crazy. And then he said, Trump is a man without any scruples. Chill went up my back then.
Wow. I mean, this is a stunning revelation for a number of different reasons. Number one, and I think most importantly in my mind, is that it proves that Donald Trump and Epstein were far closer than Donald Trump wants us to believe. Epstein and Trump were best friends for like 2 decades. Epstein knew exactly what Donald Trump did to people who crossed him. He knew that Donald Trump loves retribution. He will go after anybody who puts him in a bad position. And so this conversation that Wolff is recounting happened when Trump was president and, of course, when Epstein was arrested by federal authorities. He knew that if he were to release these photos, blow the whistle on Donald Trump's involvement in his heinous crimes, Trump would have done something. He was terrified of what Donald Trump might have done. That, to me, indicates a much closer relationship. Like, you're not scared of a random guy on the street and what he might do to you if you blow the whistle on that guy. You're scared of somebody who you know really well. You know how they operate, and you know what they might do to you if you reveal something about them. And that is how I'm looking at this conversation that Michael Wolff is revealing about Epstein. Concerning for a number of different reasons, because, Epstein had these photos of Donald Trump, according to Michael Wolff, and wouldn't release them. But nonetheless, this to me paints a closer picture of Trump and Epstein than, as I mentioned, Trump would like you to know. And it's not just things like this. It's not just a conversation of retribution that points to a closer relationship. It's also the fact that in a business sense, Trump and Epstein were very much involved. Like, for example, Julie Brown, who is one of the top investigative reporters on the whole Epstein case. She knows every inch of the case surrounding Epstein. She was also on the Midas Touch Network recently, the Legal AF podcast, talking about how Epstein's accountant was deposed in a case that he was involved in, and it was because of a modeling company. He worked for a modeling company, and that modeling company was being used as a cover for trafficking. And Epstein, according to this deposition, wanted to set up that modeling company as Donald Trump set up his modeling agency. So clearly, There was some business relationship between Trump and Epstein. Epstein knew exactly how Donald Trump was running his modeling agency. Take a look at what Julie Brown had to say on this podcast. Again, it is stunning. Have a look.
Right. Well, there was that came out as part of the discovery in one of the lawsuits. Brad Edwards, who represented a number of victims, deposed Epstein had a company, a modeling company, and Brad Edwards deposed the accountant who worked for that company, worked for Epstein's company, modeling company. And in that deposition, she provided a lot of detail about what he was doing. And it's clear that he was using that company, a modeling company, as a cover in part for the sex trafficking that he was doing, because she was describing exactly what they would do. They would send the younger girls down to Epstein's place in Palm Beach. And she just gave more detail than we had before, including the fact that when Epstein formed that company, he said to her, "I want it to be set up just like Donald Trump's modeling agency." So what that
and
means,
that's in that record that she testified to that under oath.
right?
That Epstein said that he wanted to model his modeling company that he would invest in on Trump's.
Oh, God. I mean, it really, when I see clips like this, when I'm covering this story so often on this channel, it really just makes me feel sick in my stomach. And I mean that truly. And this is just stunning. Epstein's modeling agency was a cover for trafficking, and it was set up in such a way that it allowed for him to run the company as a cover for trafficking. And that model was based on Donald Trump's model for his modeling agency that he used to run back in whenever this appeared to be, whenever Epstein set up this cover company. It is stunning. And it shows you, once again, I really need to emphasize this deeper relationship between Trump and Epstein. We're learning more and more by the day that Epstein was scared of what Trump might do to him, that his companies were set up like Donald Trump, that Epstein would use Mar-a-Lago to recruit young women into his sex trafficking ring. That had never been previously acknowledged by Donald Trump until recently, of course, with Virginia Giuffre and that conversation we're also having. Their relationship is deeper. MAGA can pretend that it's not, but it is. There's a business relationship here. There's also a personal relationship that needs more looking into, whether Donald Trump will allow it or not. So anyway, just had to show you these two videos. Shocking. Just shocking. I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.